Top corruption cases in Russia. Corruption is a big problem in Russia, touching everything from the economy and business to public services like healthcare and education. Transparency International says Russia has a serious corruption issue. It's ranked the worst among European countries in their 2021 Corruption Perceptions Index. Under Vladimir Putin's leadership, Russia has been called a kleptocracy, oligarchy, and plutocracy because of its system where a few wealthy and well-connected individuals have a lot of control and benefit economically from political connections. Hi, and welcome back to our channel where we discuss fraud and tax awareness. We'll share with you 3 of the most well-known Russian corruption cases today to give you an idea of how extreme their corruption is. The Russian laundromat. The laundromat fraud began by creating a complex network of shell companies and fake debts planned to launder billions of dollars from Russia. The fraudsters established a network of shell companies, initially in Russia and later in offshore jurisdictions like the UK, Cyprus, and New Zealand. These shell companies had hidden ownership and existed primarily on paper, making it difficult to trace the true beneficiaries of the transactions. To initiate the money laundering process, the organizers fabricated debts among these shell companies. They created a scenario where a Moldovan judge would issue orders for Russian companies seeking to launder money to pay these fictitious debts into court-controlled accounts. Moldenkan Bank in Moldova played a crucial role in the scheme. The Russian companies, under the direction of the fraudsters, would transfer funds to satisfy the fake debts into Moldenkan Bank's accounts. Subsequently, a significant portion of the laundered money was transferred to Trasta Komercbanka in Latvia. This step was crucial as it helped disguise the origin of the funds within the European Union, making the transactions appear less suspicious to international banking systems. The fraudsters used elaborate misdirection tactics involving fake debts and court orders to make the illicit funds appear legitimate. By routing the money through Moldovan and Latvian banks, they obscured the true source and purpose of the transactions. Once the funds reached Trasta Komercbanka in Latvia, they were considered clean and could be freely transferred to various destinations worldwide. The laundered money was used for luxury purchases, funding of political activities, and other illicit purposes, often passing through legitimate businesses unaware of the scheme. The fraud was eventually uncovered through extensive investigative journalism by organizations like the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, or OCCRP, and Novaya Gazeta. Journalists obtained and analyzed leaked bank records that provided insights into the complex money laundering operations. By meticulously analyzing the bank records and collaborating with reporters across multiple countries, journalists were able to piece together the entire operation of the laundromat scheme. This collaborative effort enabled them to expose the movement of billions of dollars and identify the individuals and entities involved. Following the media expose, law enforcement agencies in Moldova, Latvia, the UK, and Russia initiated investigations into the laundromat. However, progress has been hindered by challenges such as lack of cooperation from Russian authorities and the complexities of international financial crime investigations. Controversial Sochi Winter Olympic Games 2014. The Sochi Winter Olympics was intended to be a grand showcase of Russia's recovery onto the global stage, organized by President Vladimir Putin to demonstrate political stability and economic prowess. However, as preparations unfolded, shadows of corruption began to surface, turning these games into one of the most controversial and expensive in Olympic history. The vision was ambitious: transform Sochi into a world-class winter sports destination. But behind the scenes, allegations of financial irregularities brewed. A Moscow opposition group launched a website detailing corruption allegations, revealing eye-watering costs and suspicious dealings. Take the Bolshoi Ice Dome, built by a Putin ally for an exorbitant $300 million, amounting to $25,000 per seat, far exceeding reasonable expenses. Another close associate, Arkady Rotenberg, reportedly pocketed billions through Olympic contracts, contributing to a total bill of $50 billion. 5 times more than Vancouver's previous Winter Games. Valery Morozov, an Olympic contractor turned whistleblower, exposed a web of payoffs and kickbacks to Russian officials. Threatened with assassination, Morozov sought refuge in the UK, shedding light on inflated bills and phantom companies. Just then, Alexei Navalny, an anti-corruption activist whose website exposed further financial discrepancies. Navalny alleged double spending on Olympic venues and conflicts of interest among contractors, painting a vivid picture of officials and businessmen turning the games into a cash cow. Despite mounting evidence, Putin dismissed accusations as inflated costs due to investor errors, challenging critics to substantiate claims. Government audits uncovered significant cost overruns, pointing fingers at Olimstroy, a state entity responsible for construction, with several staff members under criminal investigation. The veil of corruption extended to Olympic contractors, including Putin's childhood friend Arkady Rotenberg, who secured lucrative deals through opaque tender processes. Mostotrest, a company with ties to Rotenberg, bagged multi-billion-dollar contracts, raising suspicions of bid manipulation and monopolistic practices. The Sochi Olympics, once intended as a symbol of Russia's renaissance, became a cautionary tale of excess and opacity. Behind the glitz and sporting glory lay misappropriated funds, conflicts of interest, and unchecked power, a legacy that exposed the darker side of Olympic ambition. Biggest bribe in Russian history. The saga of the largest attempted extortion in Russian history unveils a web of deceit and corruption orchestrated by a network of high-ranking law enforcement officials and well-connected individuals. The scheme commenced in 2020 with the arrest of 3 co-owners of Layman, a prominent electronics trading company, on fabricated charges of attempted murder. Allegedly, the trio was accused of orchestrating an assassination plot against their former CEO to evade a $5 million bonus payment. This arrest marked the beginning of a sinister plan devised by a group of influential figures. While in custody, corrupt law enforcement officers hatched a nefarious scheme using the threat of lengthy imprisonment to extort an exorbitant sum, 15 billion rubles, or $200 million, from the businessman. The deal included ongoing payments equivalent to 2% of Layman's turnover annually, amounting to billions more over time. However, the businessman, recognizing the ploy, refused to comply with extortion demands. As the case against them unraveled, the truth began to emerge. The post-hitman, a war veteran, recanted his testimony, revealing that he had been bribed to provide false evidence. In a shocking turn of events, a subsequent investigation uncovered a vast criminal enterprise involving over 24 senior law enforcement officials, including FSB officers and the head of the investigative committee on Moscow's Northwest District. This network of corruption implicated key figures with influential ties, such as the son of a close associate of Vladimir Putin and the business partner of Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin's son-in-law. The masterminds behind this exploited their positions of authority to fabricate a criminal case and then leverage it for financial gain. They fled to Dubai to evade justice, leaving a trail of deception and shattered lives in their wake. The unraveling of this extortion scheme underscores the pervasive corruption within Russia's law enforcement apparatus and highlights the challenges of combating entrenched graft at the highest levels. It serves as a reminder of the lengths to which some individuals will go to exploit their power for personal enrichment at the expense of justice and integrity. Well, what do you think of these cases? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.